one. I hope you did all get to watch. So if you have just joined us, where have you been? We are now in round 3, heat number 15. Lorenzo Casati, former winner of the Red Bull King of the Air, the current champion, up against Charles Brodel, the only foil rider. I wonder if his advantage lost slightly now as the wind has just started picking up. Is it an advantage? It's open for debate, certainly in the lighter wind room, but he's got a challenge here. Will this be the end of the road for Charles Brodel? Will there be another upset?
Well, I mean, it's definitely going to be interesting to see Charles navigate his foil in these hectic waters here in Cape Town today. The waves are absolutely, look at that, rolling in like crazy. 2 to 4 meter waves, sometimes really hollow. Very hard for the riders to navigate through to keep up their speed. But luckily, there is a 15-second period in between the waves. So there is a nice flat section in between where the riders can really perform some epic tricks today. And here comes Charles Brodel riding his foil. And he has to also keep in mind that the water can be quite shallow there, that he doesn't clip the sandbank.
He needs to be such a further, I mean, we talk about being a step ahead, he needs to be a marathon ahead of the way he thinks about negotiating this ocean and sailing. There's a lot of sailing coming. I'm using that word. We are sailing on the ocean, navigating the ocean now. Not in between the tricks. We've got to think of the waves, where the gusts are coming from. Can't be in the wrong place.
Here goes former king Lorenzo Casati. Landing a nice trick to open up his heat score today. This is his first heat today, because in the first round, on the day 1 of the Red Bull King of the Air 2024, he made it straight to round number 3. And now he's joined by Charles Brodel. And Charles on his foil, getting a nice takeoff, some nice height here with a doobie loop, board off.
Nice and extended out of his board there. I think he really showed to the judges with his board off. That's taking the board off, that he was in control. The feet come out, and here he goes again, right foot forwards. He's having a good start. I think he's got enough wind now to start working. He's up for it. He's in the mood here. I think he's got enough wind here to start throwing some doubles in this heat.
Oh, another historic first-year hydrofoil board up against.
What the judges are looking for, however, though, is kite angle, which is hard to get on the foil. He's getting extreme height. But the judges also would like to see some leveled kite angles. Once the guys do the loop, you gotta get those lines horizontal and some yank, some power through the loop, so you can cover some distance as well. That's really what is rewarding the riders. We've got 5 international judges with 3 trick colors, so they're looking closely at the action, really scoring every trick into fine detail, where the top 3 scoring tricks will be accompanied by a 4th overall impression score at the end of the heat.
Here we go, Casati launching for the skies. Look at the amount of distance he's traveled on that trick. He'll be very happy with that, or having already dropped a 6.28. I think that score's gonna switch to 2nd place on his trick list.
Definitely showing on day 1 already last week that he's one of the event favorites. Right away scoring into the 29 points in his heat. And I think he's going to show us some magic today as well, Lorenzo Casati.
Also had the most tricks performed in round number 1, so he gets busy. He knows how to rack up the score. The more tricks these guys are doing, it does add to the overall impression score, unless the guys are doing the same trick over and over and over. But you can still get 3 very big scores with the same trick. So interesting, the scoring tactic here, giving you an overall possible score of 40. We have yet to get there, but look at those kickers rolling in.
That's what he wants, a steep kicker. Staying open for him, taking off into a double back roll, board off, tic-tac.
Oh!
And yes, this Lorenzo Casati at his finest.
Wow, that is why he was the 2022 King of the Air champion. But Charles with a nice mega loop, but no board off. Great angle there, but I think he saw that. I think he saw that from Lorenzo and realized, I got my work cut out for me now.
I think Charles' strategy was to get some kite angle going by just going for a straight kite loop there, and really trying to send the kite down a little bit. But yeah, I think the trick was too basic, but it's definitely going to help his overall impression score. And this is the first time that we actually see a competitor riding a foil here at the Red Bull King of the Air. All the other riders are on twin tips. And yeah, Charles Brodel putting bigger foil riding on the map here. And look at that.
Oh,
a doobie loop tic-tac from Lorenzo Casati.
Wow. It's the end of these moves that impresses me the most with these riders now. They don't try to get the board on super quickly. They just wait. One hand off, totally comfortable, totally confident that their kite is going to give them that extra lift. They're kite looping the kite with one arm, with the board out one side. Oh, nearly into a steam train. Did he turn it into a trick there?
Oh, no, that was very steep. And you can see, look at the wind rushing over the water, as in the yellow vest. Charles Brodel is going to make his way back out to sea. But Lorenzo Casati really stomping it down here already with 3 7-point tricks, showing why he was the year before last.
Here's the replay from that steam train.
Oh! He turned it. Steam train takeoff.
It's huge. Look at the horizontal angle on that kite.
Wow.
Massive distance downwind that he chose. The judges said they want to see that yank. They want to see that pull, seeing you flying across the competition area.
There's a contra loop from Charles. Looking very composed, contained, well executed here from Charles. Not the kite angle that the judges love to see. And let's talk about the risk that Lorenzo Casati was just taking. He was getting so excited to take off and perform, but the wave was getting so speedy. It was really at the limits that he could get a proper takeoff going and not hurt himself.
Look at that 8.5 from that steam train takeoff there from Lorenzo Casati.
Interesting takeoff.
And what a great example about him.
You're like clipping it on the end there from Lorenzo. Interesting.
Forwards. Here we go. Sorry to interrupt you, Colin. Right foot forwards. Another big move from Charles Brodel. But going back to that steam train takeoff, it was a great example of improvisation. He wouldn't have planned to go into that move until the last second and thought, there's the opportunity, it's in front of me, I'm taking it.
Improvise with the conditions right there at the moment. Oh, and what an experienced rider he is, our 2022 King of the Air winner, Lorenzo Casati, winning the event on his rookie year. But look at him now, another ramp lining up for him. Oh,
not steep enough. Not steam train enough for him.
Yeah. But Casati there with an 8.5. Look at this commanding lead there from him. Gents, with over 2 minutes left. Charles
look at the height here.
Oh,
it's for the crowd.
Show. Look at that shot, ladies and gentlemen. That's what the sport is all about. Look at that height.
There's a photo. He's going for the...
that was beautiful.
Oh, he's crashing that. But
I don't care if he crashed that. That was pure magic.
It was one for the spectators because the judges won't really score that, unfortunately, because it was a crash and there was no trick being done. He was getting huge height, but unfortunately messed up the takeoff a little bit, so he couldn't perform a move during that jump.
Interesting to note here, gents, he needs an 11.47. It's not possible to score a trick that high, meaning he has to do 2 tricks that will add up to the amount.
My Red Bull.
He might even have to do more because Lorenzo Casati riding out left foot forward, super fast, eyeing up another kicker. I wonder if that last jump from Charles was just for the jump of the day. Is there a woo prize going on for the highest jump of the day today? I don't know. I'm not sure. But just while we have this little second of the crowd on the beach, I want to say hello to my 2 little girls watching at home, Akas Lifio, to Sierra and Valencia, and everyone watching. But that's about enough time for that. Charles Brodel goes into another big move.
Oh, fantastic there. And a crash for him. Oh, man, gents, it's also interesting to note at the moment with Casati's commanding lead here in this heat, he has yet to crash in this year's event. He did not crash at all during round 1. He hasn't crashed yet in round 3. It looks like he's well on his way to his 3rd semi-final.
Look at this.
Look at this. Perfect kicker, perfect timing, stalling on the loop. This is huge. That's another 8-pointer if he lands this. Huge stuff from the Italian. Magnifico.
So,
wow.
You can see him on the takeoff. He took off in one direction and then midair, like he wanted to take off his board, but he didn't. Like the kite pulled him off control and then he spun the other way. And here Charles Brodel.
The wind is up, isn't it? It's so clear to us watching this, and hopefully for you at home, that they've got more time in the air. They're performing more extreme moves here now. Great landing from Charles. You like that, Ruben?
Yeah, he's just like balancing on his foil board there. It just looks really cool, and I'm just curious to see, if other riders will also be training this discipline in order to favor a bit lighter winds and getting more height.
Oh, my word. Casati just pulling it out on the buzzer there. What a heat for him there. Charles will also be happy. He really put on a fantastic show for the spectators. But Lorenzo Casati dropping an 8.5. Interesting to note, last year's round 3, we had an 8.43. It was very steep. And you can see, look at the wind rushing over the water as
he was in control. Here he goes again. But forwards, he's having a good start. Right, so we are seeing the highlights here from that incredible heat from Lorenzo. He's just kicking his legs to the side there. I think it would take a miracle for Charles to have outdone him there, unfortunately. As you well corrected me, Colin, the 2022 champion, Lorenzo isn't the current champion, of course. That is Andrea. But here are our results then. Lorenzo Casati.
Oh, with an
32.
Sorry, Lewis. Go for it.
No, you go ahead, Colin.
No, go for it.
Lorenzo Casati taking the win and going into the semi-final. I feel like I've said that loads of times in my life already. 32.44, 26.38 from Charles Brodel. But we have to acknowledge what a performance that was at the first King of the Air with a hydrofoil. Congratulations, Charles. For me, you certainly got my attention, and I'm not the only one. one.
No, 100%, Lewis. Couldn't agree more. Interesting, last year we had a 31.64 highest heat score. Lorenzo already outdoing